1 John 2:17, it says, "The world and all its desires are passing away, but whoever does the will of the Father abides for forever." The things that we do for ourselves, not gonna last. But the things that we do for God's kingdom last for eternity. We are all tools to be used by God for His purposes in His kingdom. So started researching seminaries, found the Bible Belt, Dallas Theological Seminary. Man, if we're gonna do this, let's do this, let's go all in. Let's do this right and get equipped. So when we first moved to Dallas, after we got married, we lived in an apartment in my brother's backyard, which is here in the South Dallas area, which is not known for being the safest part of town. Violence, gang-related, drugs, etc. And at some point in the car, Bonnie says, "Hey, I've been praying, and I think we should start looking at homes in South Dallas." And I said, "That's what I've been praying, and that's what God's been revealing to me." And then also knowing like, hey, but it's not necessarily the safest place, not the best schools, not the best place to raise kids. But talking to God is like, we're called to be faithful wherever He is calling us to go. So here in South Dallas, I've heard stats that 98% of kids grew up without a dad in the household. And so that just broke my heart. And so saying, okay, how can we come stand in the gap, fill in there, loving the youth, loving our neighbors, and loving people well. As we moved to Dallas and going to seminary, just one of my first classes, just felt that peace. Hey, this is where God's called me to be. But at the same time, you got all the stressors of new town, new friends, new church, and there's also this constant pressure of finances. Going from working full-time to all of a sudden, hey, I can work part-time and less money's coming in. And you also have this pretty big seminary bill. So I had this pressure there. And so started applying for different scholarships, different things, and not much came through. And then was able to, at some point, heard about 222 and the scholarship and mentorship. And was like, all right, let's apply for that. And the mentorship was huge to me as well, because we got here, we'd come from a place where we had great people above us, beside us, beneath us, that model, and got here and I'm like, all right, we're pouring out in seminary, leading a community group at church, all these different things, leading people again. And I'm like, man, I just want a mentor. Praying to God over and over again. In about 2.5 years of that prayer, when I heard about 222. And it's like, all right, God, could this be the answer? And sure enough, about the 3rd-year mark, God said yes, was able to, hey, we got some finances coming through, a scholarship, which is a huge blessing. Was able to less pressure, less stress when it comes to providing for the family. And then also able to go meet with a mentor, Robert, on a bi-weekly basis and just say, hey, here's what's going on. Here's something going on in my marriage. Here's something at church. And able to process those things with him was just a huge blessing.
I think the most encouraging thing I've seen in my husband, watching him meet with his mentor and have a deep relationship with him, and someone to just go to and sit with and ask questions and learn from. I can't provide that sometimes. And so it's a good gateway for him to go somewhere safe to just talk about life.
So 222 has been a huge blessing in my life. I want to think about with the financial provision, so I can graduate without debt. I think about the mentorship opportunity, and it's really set an example for me. As I go into ministry, as I look at, I should be mentoring people. It's important that we have someone above us, beside us, and below us, so we can keep, I'll say, multiplying and replicating for the kingdom of God. So I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for investing into myself and other seminary students through prayer, through finances, just through being there and meeting with his mentors. Right now, being able to graduate here coming in the spring with no financial debt is a burden off my shoulders. As you are giving, as you are praying, that is an equal ministry by faith as myself and other people going to seminary, going into the ministry like that. We are in partnership in the ministry for what God is doing. Not what I'm doing, not what you're doing, but what God is doing. And it's just an amazing way that we can partner together in that. So thank you.